Peggy was a fiercely independent person. She ended up as a Ziegfeld showgirl, was doing tours with the USO during the war, tap dancing her way across America. Peggy was kind of, a surrogate mother. My mom passed away a while ago. It would surprise people when I'd say, my closest friend is, 90 years old. But, she had lived a life and she had seen a lot of stuff. And I was impressed at how calm she was about the fact that, one day soon she was going to die. And she seemed much more concerned about how, I was going to handle it or the effect on my boys than on herself. I think she really had come to peace with, where she was and what was going to happen. And when she got to Community Hospice of Greenwood House, while certainly there were struggles in terms of her own abilities, she didn't have to struggle with communicating with the people around her. They were gracious, they were respectful, they cared for her. Even though she was on hospice care, she wanted to do whatever she could on her own. Peggy had been working on this truck, painting a truck, and I was kind of laughing to myself. Peggy doing crafts seemed very odd to me, but then I learned that this was actually a bank that she was making for my youngest son. This bank is probably one of the most special gifts I've ever gotten.
Community Hospice of Greenwood House is a hospice that cares for people with a life-limiting diagnosis, with a life expectancy of 6 months or less. We care for people wherever they live.
Taking care of someone who is ill is difficult. Taking care of someone who's dying can be very overwhelming for families. So we come in and take care of the physical part of it. So we bring in a team of nurses, doctors, aides, volunteers, chaplains, social workers, and take away the physical care from the family and allow them to really focus on the spiritual, emotional, the love that they have with this person.
My mother was probably the most nurturing, loving, selfless person. She really loved living and was very pragmatic and practical about when her end of life was going to come. A hospice program did a lot to help me and my family and my mother feel comfortable, mostly by helping us realize that dying is a normal process. And I was very afraid. I thought dying was painful. I had never seen anybody die. I really wasn't sure what that was going to be like. I felt like hospice gave me permission to be able to express ourselves, so we sat there and we told stories, sad stories, happy stories. We laughed, we cried. I laid next to my mother, I held her tightly. You can let go and at the same time say goodbye and feel like you've said everything and done everything. And there's so much love in the room, and my mother was not in pain thanks to hospice. My son was there and I was proud he was there. I loved having him see this beautiful ending of a life.
I was in the Navy. I was in World War II. I took part in the invasion of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. And I found the Navy to be a good place. You learn discipline. You learn how to take care of yourself. You learn that you're not in the world all alone.
It's tremendously important for people to be able to spend the last part of their life in a situation that's comfortable for them and that they're able to live with dignity and live in a way as best they can.
You take life as it comes. You're going to have a good, bad, sometimes indifferent. You'll have times when you feel exuberant and other times when you feel like you're in the bottom of a well. Those are times you have to look to somebody for help, and that's when this program comes in so handily.
I think the hospice program has made my father feel safer and feel that he doesn't have to worry about what might be coming.
I know I'm going to go soon. When he knocks on the door, I'm going to be there.
I'd like my father to be comfortable and not suffer. He's my father, and what else can I say?
It is very important for me to be at home. And because the idea of going into a place where you just stay and wait to die is not my cup of tea. But with this program, I may last to be 200. That'll give all my children a heartache.